as you mentioned, you're coming into this position to bring resolution to the incorporation issue, and also, Mr. Chumbley, you want to be the check on potential overextension of governmental power, right? So, what does that kind of entail for you?
So a specific example was a lack of transparency. So the guy who's there now, who occupies that space, I was him. He was selected because I chose not to go for incorporation. So what happened was, this is just one example, but it's a real example that happened, was this guy was basically appointed onto the board. There was another guy, Brian Boniface, he left. So there was a seat open. And the board rightly had the ability to put someone on there. And I understand the politics here in the Woodlands. That guy would have gotten on regardless of the process they used. And legally, the board was entitled to put him in there in the manner in which they did. They didn't violate any law. But morally, usually, so I'd say morally, they were incorrect. Usually, you should, a person is put on there by being elected by the people. So instead of, and if you talk to a lot of people, they feel like that what happened was the board just went and did it behind closed doors and kind of in the dead of the night type of thing. And they shouldn't have done it that way. So just because you have the power to do something doesn't mean that you should do it. And because this is a moral issue, I consider that there's three major aspects to any moral consideration. One is the ends, what are the results of what you do, and what is the motivation for it, and what are the means. So whether the motives or the result would have changed, it would not have, because of the politics. The means was incorrect. And so I say, most of these people are good people, but I think when you're in a position of authority and power, and again, going back to incorporation, when you're telling people just your side of things, I mean, I can understand that. I mean, when you sell, if you were selling soap, you don't advertise someone else's soap, right? You advertise yours. When you're a lawyer, you defend your client, right? But there's a point to where you can't be a moral public servant if you're selling only one side of the issue. It's not right. And so, that's the position that I take.
Yeah.